Hey everybody, this is Grace, and yeah, I'm still doing my videos like this because of the pandemic, and I have a dog in the house that has dementia, and it's difficult to make videos around him. Anyway, in this video, I've made another video about a topic about body image and self-image, and the way that altogether they're going to be about the way some people are, blame you for whatever. If you do notice and you don't, go back. I don't want to repeat that whole video. But some people, no matter what you do, some people are going to, like if you are aware of who you are. Of course, many people, not everybody. It's not a one size fits all. But like if somebody isn't body beautiful, their appearance is not that average or whatever, and for whatever reason, that it shouldn't be that way. That like there's a reason, like any people have flaws, in other words. But some people will, pick on somebody, even as an adult. I'm 57, and a few years ago, I experienced that myself, and yeah, it's just some of what people do. But we do, people do. Some people do. They know what they look like. They know what they're, they have their body image in their mind, right? And their self-image of what they can do, their personality, all that. They have it down pat. But if anything comes up, and the person's just being kind of matter of fact about it, they'll blame them. They'll say something like, "Oh, you shouldn't think that way. You should." Like they want to lie to you, and you should lie to yourself. And some people just won't do that. Okay, now that was a bit of a recap. Not much of one, but I'll try to add that video to the end of this. Have a link to it. It's going to be in a little rectangle, if I remember. But anyway, where I was going with some of this is that, I don't know where I heard it or what, but something made me think about this of when people say that, like you see a couple, like say a man and a woman, and one is really good looking and the other one is not. Okay, and they'll say that the good looking one settled. That's just so offensive, just in so many ways, for people to even say that about people. And like one of them is skinny and the other is fat. What was that child story, that child rhyme, or what it was, that Jack Sprat could eat no fat, his wife could eat no lean, or something like that. We're taught this crap since we're kids, young. And that was on that something triggered me to think more about this. And of course I've thought about it in the past. And what it gets to is the question of, are the people who are the one, like in that kind of relationship, the one who is the one that some would say settled, is that one the narcissistic one? And of course it led to the question of, do good-looking narcissistic men or women go for men or women who are not? Now, this is not my first rodeo. This is not my first time to think about this. I've probably thought about this since I was a child. But like I said, it triggered a memory, and memories of even thinking about it before and questioning it. I already have my answer. Okay, so it's not really a question. I've had my answer for many, many years on how I see this, and what has pretty much come, I've seen it as true. I've never seen anything other than this. Is that, yes, the person who's, people call settled, wrong word for it, for the one who's not as whatever, yeah, they're the narcissistic one. And they're using that other person for a purpose, or purposes, whatever it is. Yeah, they find that person. Anyway, I had made some notes, and I was using the example of a narcissistic man going for for a woman. His target is a woman to marry, and it was basically, it doesn't matter if he can find someone who's willing to put up with him. Basically, he can snarl, he can um, draw in that he has roles he's going to put her in his life. They do all that thing of love bombing and getting them reeled in, and then once married, they start showing their true colors, and they're abusive, and they find a way to put that person, that woman in this case, in roles, and she's going to play those roles. Okay, so that's where I was going with that video. But I have also, I make these notes about what I want to talk about, and I have three more that I realized that I could combine with this, and it's about what happens once they're reeled in. The victim is reeled into this kind of relationship, and I'm going to say male. The male is the narcissistic one, and female is the victim. So let me look at my notes real quick, and this is when my notes are about covert spouse, and this is when the spouse basically does it behind the scenes, abuses the wife, and other people don't see it. This narcissistic one is very, like many of them are, very, comes off, appears to all others to be the good one, the perfect one, the one who does no wrong, and people can't believe when she tells them how abusive he is. They just can't believe it because they don't see that, and that's so much of an old story, really. I can remember when I was young hearing stuff like that, and we know it didn't start when I was young. It's long before then. And anyway, to go back to this. Now, what he might do, some of them, once this doesn't fit all, is things like to, he's going to make sure with his wife that she realizes that he is her better. He is the better half of the relationship. She is the one who just doesn't have whatever it is. And he will prove it. He will try very hard to prove it, and just tear her down as often as he can, so he can, these are types that like to push people down so they can step up on top of them and, raise themselves up. Yeah, you see what I'm saying. So some of them now, they don't care who's around. It depends. If, say, it's her mother who is very similar to her, he doesn't care, because nobody's going to believe the mother either. This kind of thing. Some of them are like that. But anyway, he's going to try whatever way to prove that he is superior, and that she's lucky to have him. Because that whole way of people saying settled, that she's lucky to have him, or his money, and or whatever it is that he has, she's lucky. Because nobody, some would go as far as to, say, he would say, nobody else would have you, and really tear down the person, really, the woman, just tear her down to nothing. And let's see what else I wrote. Then I wrote this about crazy making. They'll do stuff like that. That's things, the gaslighting, doing the gaslighting. Things like say who you are, and go into a relationship, who you are and how others see you. But he is going to say that's all wrong. I've done a video about that recently. Yeah, he will just do anything to let you know that he's your superior. You're lucky to have him. You're not his equal. You never will be. and they're going to step over every boundary to prove it. And then if they feel that you might best them, you might actually, there's nothing they can do to, your self-esteem is still in place, which good luck with that, but, and you start achieving. Okay. All right. Then they will really make you feel totally insignificant. Like you have no right to feel anything, say, negative about them. You have no right to them, to them, to have any kind of negative emotions, whatever mood, whatever emotion they want you to feel, you have to feel it. Any feelings, what they tell you, they'll get down to that where they'll infantilize you and treat you like a child. Not everybody treats children like that, and they shouldn't. In whatever way they can to control, and then they take their anger out on you. They, like I said, only the way they feel is what matters. And so if they're angry at somebody else, then they're going to take it out on you. That you're there for them to take it out on. And and like I said, to them you're insignificant. But if you become insignificant, if you become significant to other people, if you're actually still moving on and you're still, doing whatever, achieving whatever you wanted to achieve, they might just decide they're going to discard you and go for that other person. Now, who would that other person be? When would they start? Many of them, from what I've heard, experiences about, we've all probably heard these, about they start cheating. They start while they're still in the relationship with their wife. They go behind the scenes and become, cheaters, not being detected, and find that other woman. So now in this scene, this is fictional. The woman, he would go and find another woman. And she is going to be the other woman. And but some don't know it, don't know that he's married. Some do, and they don't really care. Those I see more as the histrionics. They love the drama. They love the challenge. I see it often as a narcissistic histrionic blend with a little sadistic behaviors added to it. But they don't care about the wife. And often he puts himself out as, he plays the victim. That his wife, this is so cliche. His wife doesn't understand him, or his wife is not nice, wife is abusive, whatever. He's going to play the victim, reel this other woman in. And okay, and I've heard people talk about, the other woman, and now the ones who know that this is going on, yeah, like I said, I see them as that kind of blend, and they're in it for the thrill of it all. They're a little bit psychopathic too. They don't care. Any of these, they don't have empathy for other people. It's all about them. They love the attention that they get. They love, like I said, they had the whole thrill of it all. The trying to best somebody else, and she's going to be a better woman than the wife, and the ones who know. But there are ones who don't know, and just like you believed in him, and then his true colors came out. That's going to be the same. Chances are it's going to be the same for the woman who didn't know that she was the other woman. And when she finds out, yeah. And she might not ever find out. He might wait for, the divorce, after the divorce, to, actually try to marry her and not even let her know that he is divorced, that he was married during the time. It might be difficult, but it could happen. Okay. So, I hear somebody they want to take it out on the woman. what is the man doing? Okay, why not take it out on the man? Okay, the one who is doing it to you, causing, you this kind of grief, why take it out on the other one? But it's so, like I said, all this is so cliche that people do that. Too many, not everybody, not everybody in any of this. But some will, just take it out on the person they shouldn't be taking it out on. Okay, and some of them, like I said, the ones who know, or the spouse, and narcissistic, whatever spouse, they don't care about the children involved. The children are just, disposable too to them. They can just leave. They start a new family if she wants it. That's what he needs in his life, is someone who will take care of everything. And if that's what she wants, in order for him to totally hook her in, he'll go for that too. Because the children he doesn't really care about. Some of them do, but they're just, like I said, disposable people. And I remember I went through a stage many years ago, and seeing that in so many people, relationships and everything, it was like a trend, really. That some people just seemed like others were disposable. It's a next kind of thing, And I could tell some stories about some people I know that really, women that really had terrible, terrible times with this, of just being discarded, and in bad times in their lives. So anyway, I think that's enough for now. I'm going to start doing these videos more to where I take some of these old notes, and how many times I say that over the years that I've been doing videos, but really for the past couple of years or so, trying, every once in a while I'll try to catch up, and I'll do a really long video to put several of the notes together, several of them, and I went through some of them yesterday and try to organize them in a way that made some sense, because I made them, like one maybe from 2 years ago and the other one recent, so, and some of them I can't remember where was I going with it, but I'm going to continue to try to do this and catch up on some of them. So I'll try to limit my video length. I used to only do like 3-minute videos, but when I'm going to be doing these, it's going to be more around 30 minutes. Try to limit them around that, but I don't know until I go and check and see how long I've been talking. So I do want to, like I said, combine them again, start that up, if I'm capable, not capable, but able to, because the weather's getting hot. This is Texas. It's summer. Well, it's June 8th, and 2 days ago, I think we broke a record for heat. It was 100, but our summers here in north central Texas, above Dallas, we get into the 110s, and it can go on for days. I think we were one day shy of breaking a record for consecutive days over 100, 100 plus temperatures. And man, the ground was cooking. You could fry eggs, like they say. I've actually done something like that with eggs in my SUV on the dash. It was a test, I guess. But you can fry bacon or whatever. But it's going to be hot, and I can sit out in the SUV when the sun's not right on top of me, right on top of the SUV, above the SUV. Yeah, I'm going to get my words out. I haven't had my caffeine this morning, and do things like that, but we'll see. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. What about you? Have you known people who've experienced all this? And how do you see that about the whole thing about people saying someone is settling? I mean, seriously, the nerve of people saying that. And one show I saw it on was that How I Met Your Mother. And I hardly ever watched that show, but I saw it one day, and that was kind of a turn off right there. I don't even know their names. I think it was the other couple, that she settled for, because he wasn't so great or whatever. And that's just awful. And this kind of thing just keeps it going, going on. But really, I have questioned over the years if, when I've seen people like that, how often do you see, and that? Plus, isn't it worsening? They say that we're becoming more and more narcissistic world. I see it as psychopathic. Yeah. I really went from narcissistic to, no, this is psychopath. But really, what's the difference? I mean, I've heard people use the term narcissistic psychopath. That seems to be, Adam says that. That seems to be, not just Adam, but other people, kind of common for people to see it that way. But, when you start to get deep down into them, I really do see them, as many of them, as psychopaths or sociopaths. Yeah. And, but anyway, do you ever think that, someone that's really good looking, or just, the way I've always seen them is that they're good looking, but they have flaw. We all have flaws. And that nobody should judge you by your flaws, but they do, and they do have flaws. They don't say that they have flaws, but others do. But still, they're overall good looking, and the person they're with is, the ones that are good looking that are, this way, they have somebody who is not. Okay, that is sad. And even that someone would think another person isn't good looking because they don't fit some kind of, body beautiful, appearance, whatever. And this may be just more of a generation, and maybe the younger people are getting, younger people aren't like that as much. But maybe they are. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah. And I'll talk to you on another video. But if you have any experience you feel like sharing, leave a comment below this video on YouTube. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, you can click that circle icon that pops up. Want to watch another video, click one of those rectangles that pops up. Okay.